In this video, we're going to move a layer from our group layer to the main map. So open up the GroupLayer move.py script from the GroupLayer folder. In this workflow, we're going to access our map object and the content property, which will return a map content object, from which we will access the layers property, which will contain a list of feature layer and group layer objects from the web map. We're interested in the group layer object. Once we have our group layer object, we can call the move method and move a layer from within our group layer to the main map. So let's head over to documentation for the group layer object move method. Here we have the move method for our group layer object, and we can move a layer from its group into another group layer or into no group, which means it will be moved to the main map's layers. We are going to move a layer from the group layer to the main map. So we need the index of the layer, and we're going to set the group parameter to be none. From here, let's go to our web map in ArcGIS Online. Here we have the current state of our web map. We have our county boundaries that sits at index 0, and then we have our group layer at index 1. We're going to access this group layer as a group layer object, and we're going to take our NHA layer and move it to the main map. But where will it go in the main map when we call our move method? Will it go to index 0? Will it go between NPWS group layer and NIAH locations, or will it be added to the top of the list? Exciting, I know. Let's go find out. We first access ArcGIS Online. We then use the content manager get method and supply in our web map item ID, which I'll paste in now with my notepad. The get method will return an item object that will assign to a variable called WebMap item. We'll use that WebMap item to create our map object, which will assign to a variable called WebMap. We then use our map object and call the content property. This content property returns a map content object that has a layers property, which returns a list of feature layer or group layer objects from our map. We know that our group layer sits at index 1. So we're going to grab the group layer, which will be a group layer object, and assign to a variable called GL for group layer. Now we call our group layer object and the move method, and we saw that we require an index, and we're going to use index 0, which is our NHA layer, and we're going to set the group to equal none. So we're moving it from our group layer to the main map. To commit the change, we're going to call the map object update method, which will assign to a variable called status and print status to screen. So let's run this script. Our script is complete. Let's head over to ArcGIS Online and check out the result. Here we can see we have our NHA layer within our group layer. When we refresh the map, we should see that it has been moved to the main map. We'll refresh now, and we can see that our NPWS NHA layer now sits on top of the layer list, and if I expand our group layer, it has been removed from the group. In this lesson, we saw how we could move a layer from within a group layer back to the main map, and as we did so, it got placed on top of the layer list.